Time to talk about support. And I'm going to do that with Rocket, everyone's favorite support to play with. Okay, so start of the round, immediately as Rocket, throw down your uh, res station so everyone can get a shield or a jump pad. Those things actually help players like me. I know to use it because it helps keep me alive a lot of times. And I use it in very tricky ways. So immediately, as the game starts, I am preemptively pumping heals into my team in case they take damage. As a support, even if people are full health and you can't do damage, you want to preemptively heal to predict when enemies are going to deal damage. That way you can immediately kind of top them off sometimes before the damage even happens. My res station needs to be up in order for it to have any sort of benefit. And as soon as the fight has started, uh, I want to get that res station out as fast as possible and go right back into the fight. In these games, in these shooters with hero-based shooters with objectives, you have what's called downtime. That downtime is where if I went up here and I was trying to search for a perfect spot to place it to hide it and then went back down, there was so much downtime where I should have been in the fight. Instead, I was walking around trying to find a perfect place that now my team is now put on the defensive because there wasn't heals. So what do? I go up with my mobility, I chuck the thing, and I go right back down. Very little downtime. And here I see Bucky puts a Magneto out of position, so I'm immediately backing him up. I throw down the infinite ammo because that works basically like an ultimate. Uh, with everyone trying to collapse on the point right now and Bucky having a good position on the Magneto and good damage on him, I'm trying to back him up by giving him the infinite ammo and just hopefully he can secure kills early because anytime an ability is not on cooldown, it's an ability that sort of could have been used maybe to secure a kill, right? Uh, so basically, I want to use that infinite ammo as often as possible to get the most amount of value out of it. I still want to be smart about when I use it, but I don't want to wait too long. There's too many times people hold on to ultimates or hold on to these abilities when it's just like you could have had two ultimates sometimes in the time that you were holding on to the one. Sometimes it's better to just, throw these things out there and try and secure a single kill than it is to hold on to them. The compression is just something I haven't found a workaround yet. So here I am just preemptively healing. I am, I think maybe, yeah. We lost. You can see here, we lost our Psylocke. But because I got the res station down, we had a 6v5, not in our favor, that eventually turned into our favor because of the fact that we get the kill on Doctor Strange. And because Psylocke is back into the fight immediately, we don't lose anything. We took our, what would have been a disadvantage at a 6v5, brought it back to a 6v6, got a kill, and now it's a 6v5 in our favor instead of against us. Whereas before we would have just broken even and we would have had to take our chances. But this gives us an opportunity now to get back into the fight. I am preemptively shooting heals everybody from long range. This is where Rocket shines. Rocket is really good at hitting heals to people that other healers can't reach. I know he doesn't have burst heals, so you can't play around that. But with his range, he can sit back really far and hit a lot more people with heals than some of the other supports, and much more, consistently. And I like the fact that he is consistent and survivable. Those are features of the characters in these games that I think have more value than people realize.
Feeling fantastic.
So here I am. Just prioritizing healing and keep my team up. I see that my Psylocke loses another fight. She does that a lot this game. But she still caused at least enough attention for everyone else to get picks elsewhere. So here I am. I am just pumping heals as I'm pretty sure that we have the advantage. So I'm like, okay. I'm just keeping my teammates alive. I'm backing them up, allowing them to get their kills. Immediately as I take damage, because I was playing from a safe distance and not trying to do anything crazy, I have both of my dashes. I immediately dash away and pump heals while I do so. Because I was healing from a safe distance, I had two of my jetpack heals. Jetpack heals. Two of my jetpack mobility moves so I could get out of the way and get behind a shield and get to safety with my team. I throw down the infinite ammo and I tell Bucky basically, and throw down my ult and I'm just like, hey, we are just going to secure this point now, right? Support ults charge really, really fast. So don't be afraid to use them and secure the objective, especially early on, because you'll get yours back before anyone else. Heals in this game currently in season 1, they charge ults way faster than DPS or tank ults. So if you don't use it early, you're kind of wasting the potential of getting another one. You know, sometimes supports can charge 2 ults in the time that it takes like a tank to charge 1. So here, I go to damage because of the fact that 1, we have the amplifier, so they're already on the defensive. 2, we have numbers advantage, and 3, you don't need to heal your teammates if the enemies are dead. So prioritizing damage and knowing when to do that is a skill that supports need to learn. Because if somebody has, like, you can see Deku here has a little bit of missing health, but I'm not going to prioritize healing him. Even if he takes another hit, he's fine. He's not going to die. So I'm going to prioritize doing damage to this guy instead and killing him. So that way we can just take the objective and I can heal him afterwards, right? Here I mess up because I thought I had a second boost. I did not. But you see how I'm like looking around, I'm trying to make sure. It was like, oh, once I saw that Namor was dead, I chucked the thing. You see how I'm not really paying too much attention of like making sure it's in the perfect spot. It's just kind of out of the way. It's in a position where it's not super easy to accidentally find, but it's the downtime on it is very low. As soon as that res station is used, I immediately try to get back up off cooldown because a res and getting someone back in this game is huge. This game is about objectives, and those objectives are taken by having a numbers advantage. If you lose that numbers advantage and you have a disadvantage, it means that essentially you're fighting. If the enemy kills someone on your team and it turns into a 6v5, it immediately goes back into a 6v6 and they have to redo it all again. That first kill is always the hardest one to get. Everyone afterwards usually falls like dominoes. But if you can undo someone's mistake, which, let's face it, people make a lot of mistakes, it's much easier to retain control of the objective or to take it back. So here, Hela was out of position. She was incredibly early for her team, and because of it, she dies and is punished for it. This is an example of going in too soon without your team, and how you should wait for your supports and your tanks to back you up. So here, preemptively healing. Like I said, remember? I'm preemptively healing. I'm waiting for an opportunity to see something to jump on, and that's where it is right there. Magneto went up top. To the right is Doctor Strange on the bottom. He can't get to him to shield him to block him out. I understand that like Magneto was up there to try and control the high ground space, but he didn't have anyone else there with him. His supports can't see him. One of his DPS is still coming out of spawn. He's got no backup. And immediately upon noticing this, I'm telling my team, get the Magneto, get the Magneto, get the Magneto. And you see how like now I go into the offensive? I go into damage mode. And we kill him for it. Knowing when to do damage is so important. You don't always need to be pumping heals into people. You don't need to just be pumping heals into people who are full health, even preemptively healing. Knowing that just like, hey, it's better if we just kill this guy than it is for me to heal, like that will help you win more games than just heal botting. You can win games by heal botting for sure, but this is much more effective. So here I am preemptively healing. I can see that at this point, I know that my heals are not strong enough to burst Deku back to full health. And I recognize that if I stay in this position, I'm just going to die with him. So I pump as many heals as I can while maintaining this position around cover. You see how, like, in any of my videos, you're always going to see whether I'm tank, DPS, or support. I am always prioritizing where's my cover at? What's my exit strategy in case this goes south, right? So look, they can't see me here. So I'm healing, I'm getting behind my tanks. And because of the fact that I had the res station, Deku made a mistake. The Winter Soldier made a mistake there. And it sucks, but it happens to all of us. And because of the fact that, especially with him being our carry, him dying and immediately coming back, now all I need to do is just prioritize keeping my teammates alive until our Winter Soldier gets here and he can help turn the fight back around. So I don't know if this is true in this game, but I'm pretty sure it probably is. But in Overwatch, if you back up, it's slower than if you turn around and walk forward. So what I try to do is when I see that I'm in danger is turn around and try and walk towards the direction I want to go. And because of the fact that Rocket's really, really tiny, I'm trying to prioritize even the smallest bit of cover. Because even for Rocket, uh, you know, just this tiny little bit of cover could be enough to keep me alive from a harpoon, which is long enough for Invisible Woman to get her ult out. So as soon as Invisible Woman dropped her ult, I dropped the infinite ammo, but the other enemy Invisible Woman dropped her ult, which sort of just negates it, right? But I don't need to heal in this Invisible Woman ult, so I'm just prioritizing damage. But the moment that that ult runs out, I need to leave. I don't want to be in that mix. My gun is great at defending myself, but it's not great at a brawl. Rocket still dies really quickly if there's enough people looking at him. So here, Loki copies Invisible Woman ult. That's 2 defensive ults, right? Reddit and social media will have you say that, oh, well, we should automatically lose this fight, right? But what I'm going to try and do in this situation is prioritize just staying alive. Like, everybody during this moment should prioritize staying alive, backing out, and letting that 6 seconds just run out. It would be better if I could have stayed here and keep pumping heals into my team, but I immediately take 2 shots from the Hela. And because of the fact that I am near cover and I am near this health pack, I can run and grab the health pack for safety. And then once Hela collapses on top of me to try and fight me, I pop out a heal to give me a little bit of extra heals early, and I immediately turn into fight mode. Rocket's damage up close is incredibly powerful. You don't want to be fighting a Rocket up close. But Hela took that opportunity because she knew that she had to deal with me because I was just keeping everyone alive. I hadn't died at all this game. So once she went, but I will say that, like, because of even though she didn't kill me, my teammates, my tanks died because of the fact that I wasn't there to help them. I needed to prioritize staying alive. This is why, if you are a tank or a DPS, you shouldn't rely all the time on your supports to keep you up because at times there's going to be situations where I need to reload, I need to fight off someone who's attacking me. I get pushed out of position. There's a variety of reasons why I might not be healing you at that one exact moment, but there wasn't anything I could do there to survive other than just take that fight and kill her and then get back in.
No worries. I've got your back.
So right here, I see we have Psylocke in the distance who's poking on the backside, which is actually really helpful because she can pull that attention. Even if she's not very good and she hasn't been super fantastic this game, she's still pulling attention in 2 different directions. That makes it very difficult. We don't have our tanks, but what we do have is a Bucky who's really powerful. He's at 84% on his ult. And I have my ultimate, and we have 2 supports here. Okay, I realized something while editing, so I have to clip this in here. But this is my second Rocket ult of the game. And if you've been keeping track so far, you'll take notice of the fact that a lot of people in this game have only had 1 ult so far. So this is what I mean by using abilities and using ultimates quickly. If you're not using an ultimate to secure the objective, to secure the point, to secure kills, you're kind of wasting the opportunity to build another one. Now, this isn't to say that you should just always throw out ults all the time. You don't want to ult domino. You don't want to stack 6 ults on top of each other. You still want to be smart about doing it. But because of the fact that I was so proactive about using my ult early and prioritizing staying alive, I was able to get a second one so quickly that it helps us secure and keep the point. So although I know that like defensive ults are super powerful, you'll notice that as Rocket, I got 2 of my offensive ults before they come anywhere close to getting 2 defensive ults. This is why I don't think Rocket is necessarily super bad. I think people might not just know how to play around him, but this is the benefit of using ults when you get them early, especially, and using them proactively and just staying alive. So yeah. Anyway, now back to the video. So what do? I drop my ult. I keep them from capping, and I immediately go into Healbot to try and get Deku to pop off here. Magneto ults, and I jump into the air to make it more difficult for him to hit me. I do not want to get hit by this, so I immediately try to get to a position where, 1, I get a better vantage point to be able to see Bucky and heal him, and 2, it makes it harder for Magneto to hit me. But you see how I'm just turning into Healbot mode here? I am backing up my allies. Now here, I've said this before, but when you are a support and you see your allies ult, you turn into Healbot for that person. You do everything you can to keep that person alive. Back up the people who are ulting on your team, because for the next few seconds, they are brutally powerful. And what I'm trying to do here a lot of times as Rocket is I will be because when you shoot heals, if you are low health, they will slow down near you first. I try to back up while shooting, so that way I'm getting healed by the orb slower, or not as much, and it'll travel to Deku faster, or I try to get out of the way of the orb like that. Once again, immediately as the relay is down, I immediately chuck it and get it back up again. It doesn't have to be a perfect spot, I just need it up. Hella is by herself. She really shouldn't have done that. Strange is blocking, so we immediately go into damage mode. And here we're just killing everybody, right? I'm going into damage mode. We have numbers. Like the faster we kill Loki, the better. We don't need to be doing healing in during this time. If your teammates have more than half of their health, they're probably fine. Like just go into damage mode. Okay, next round. Once again, chuck it. After everyone's got their shields, you break it, you get out there, chuck it someplace. So here I am. I'm jumping, trying to avoid the balls hitting the bottom of the ground, especially because it's a weird spot in this area. I am preemptively healing towards all of my allies. There's not a great place to do damage. Here, Captain America immediately jumps on me, and I sort of back out and get into a different position. I am healing, and I throw down the infinite ammo in this spot specifically because of the fact that Winter Soldier has a great vantage to see everyone in front. He can see everyone on the point. He's got a good high ground positioning here. So I am just trying to back my team up here. As soon as I get collapsed on, I try to survive. I am healing. I am letting my team do their thing. I am prioritizing good positioning and staying alive. And you see here how Psylocke dives in on the Luna and ends up getting frozen. This is where Rocket just does really well. Like, I know a lot of people think to themselves, like, why would you play Rocket if you don't have like a Bucky or a Winter Soldier? But the thing is like as a Psylocke player, normally a Psylocke player, and I have a friend who plays Rocket, he heals me from such a range that other supports can't reach me. It'd be great if sometimes I play with Lunas and they put the snowflake on me and I can get healed that way. But Luna's banned most of the times in my games. So I actually appreciate having a Rocket on my team because I can get ranged heals like this to back me up where I can secure kills easier and I can stay in the fight longer. Because you see how even though she invis to get out, she's back to full health already and I can prioritize helping my teammates. And with Rocket, the way the heal orbs work is that if you shoot one and there's already one sort of healing somebody, I think if you shoot another one, it'll just pass right through. You can only get healed by one orb at a time. So I try to mix up where I'm shooting my orbs. Left, right, up, down, just prioritizing different people. Just left and right, back and forth, back and forth. Once again, if your teammates have low health, prioritize healing. Don't do damage. But because of it, I don't focus on I don't need to heal everybody all the time. It's prioritizing who needs health the most there. That Winter Soldier got really freaking low. I got a little too close, but nonetheless, he's still alive, and we ended up getting the pick because of the fact that Strange was sure he was going to get the kill. Here, I drop the ult down because I just want to secure the point. It hasn't been taken yet. Once again, support ults charge fast. Just prioritize getting that point. You'll get another ult back real quick. I know that he's about to get ulted, so I'm prioritizing healing him. And because of it, he stays alive. And he also gets the kill. Then we get the kill. Once again, damage up close. Here we have a team, by the way, that has triple support, right? It's not always about the composition. It's just about how you play the game, where your positioning is, when you ult, when you use your abilities. They have triple support here, but because they played poorly, and mind you, this is a GM game. There's no reason they should be doing this, but it's not always about the meta. It's not always about the team comp. So here I'm doing damage. And the moment that I see it's dangerous, I'm out. I need to stay alive. If I die, my team dies. So I need to stay alive. And this is the thing about support. This is the reason why people also say support is the easiest role. I'm healing people. My job is just to stay alive and shoot my allies essentially. Because as support, generally speaking, the people you're shooting at aren't shooting back at you because you're healing. But uh, it's so important to always have that positioning of being safe behind your team and knowing when to rotate and when to get out of danger. So I play aggressive up until the point that I realize it's not safe anymore, and then I'm back out. I don't take that risk. Because once again, if I fall, the whole team falls. As a support, you cannot be one of the first people to die. I was gonna climb up the wall and sort of like hover down and get like a safe position, but once I heard Penny ult, I was like, I need to back her up. So I immediately hopped back down.
Watch me. I am ready to put on a show.
I threw down the infinite ammo at the exact same time that Luna ulted, which is unfortunate, but now we're just all pumping damage and heals. Right now, like with Luna ulting, I am just like heal, 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 heal. That's all I want to do. I am trying to rotate around, and you see how, once again, the moment that the res station is down or it's back up, I immediately throw it back down again. And unfortunately, Winter Soldier dies here. This is something where people rely too much on supports, where the moment I look away for a single second, someone ends up dying. It's unfortunate because of the fact that our res station could have gone farther had he positioned a little bit better and made sure that it didn't require like me constantly heal botting. But because at least the station went down, he's right back up anyway. They just popped Invisible Woman ult and Captain America ult, which Captain America ult functions essentially as a second support ult. So during this moment, I am getting to a very safe position, and Rocket, because of the fact that he has great mobility, I get to a high ground position and I immediately start pumping heals towards my teammates who might be inside of the ult. Bucky ults from a distance, and I'm like, I see him half health. I know the play he's going for. I have to heal him. I have to back him up because he is now the win condition, right? I can see that my tank is like full health. I don't need to heal a tank. He's got 600 some health, whatever. And even if he takes 300 health, he still has more than Bucky does at full health, right? So I am prioritizing healing the Winter Soldier there. I keep going back and forth calling him Deku and Winter Soldier because that's his name. I apologize if it's confusing. But you see how I'm just, even though I can't see him, I'm putting orbs on both sides of the pillar, whichever side he jumps on. And because of it, because I healed him from this range, because I stayed alive, because I played with good positioning, we were able to turn the fight around. Like, absolutely. Like, 100% this Winter Soldier just popped off this game, right? But once again, like, he popped off, but look at how many times I backed him up and supported him from a distance. How many times I rezzed him to get him back into the fight so he could pop off, right? This is where sometimes people who are like DPS players are like, oh man, like I did so much work. It's like, you did. I'm not saying you didn't, but you know, you're lucky you had me on support knowing to heal you when you went for that super ballsy play and it worked out in your favor. This is why and I'm not discrediting him. It's a team game. Everybody plays a part. And it's just like, you have to realize it's just like, you know, as a support, backing up the people who are ulting and knowing who to prioritize is a huge skill in terms of your team winning. So here, I throw down the infinite ammo because he can get a little bit around that corner. Because of the fact that he just used his ult, this is a fantastic way for him to get a lot of ult charge back. And because of it, he gets an easy kill on Namor. I am prioritizing heal botting. Remember the res station? It's back up again. Now I fat finger it here and destroy it on accident, which is bad on my part. Accidents happen, but here I see Captain America on point. I know Penny's got web. It's actually a buddy of mine playing Penny there. And I throw down the amplifier and just get a free kill on Cap. It is not bad to use an ultimate to secure a kill, especially when it's something like a tank or support. Once again, I accidentally broke my res station. I immediately throw it right back down again. Enemy team ults, immediately going to heal bot mode. Prioritizing the squishies. That Psylocke was just, she misplayed there. She shouldn't have been there. She should have gone towards her team. Or had an exit strategy. I see that the dude is low. I don't need to heal bot. You go into damage. Whoa. Watch it again here. He's got low health. Why would I heal? Why would I throw heals in? Throw damage out. And because of it, they don't keep him alive before the Invisible Woman ult goes up. But the Invisible Woman ult goes up, and I don't know where my teammates are at or what their health is, so I'm just throwing heals out. And Moon Knight ults, and this is bad position in my part. I should have been back up on the high ground again. But I managed to survive and get out, and I'm immediately healing myself. I throw down the infinite ammo for Bucky to see if it might help. And immediately my Doctor Strange ults. I am just backing up my team now at this point. Back up the people, back up the squishies, because you see how every time Bucky is going again, and I'm preemptively just pumping heals his direction? I don't want him to die. So here, the enemy team ults. Luna ults, Groot ults. They're coming in through the portal. I am prioritizing heal botting to keep my team alive. I need them to stay alive. When the enemy team ults, just heal. Heal, give up space, let them take the point, do what you have to do to stay alive. And here, they should be sort of backing out and leaving, like giving up that space, because look at how they're getting collapsed on right now. If they just would have backed up and healed, we could have possibly retaken the point afterwards. Because Luna ult's the one that I ban out. That one is 12 seconds of you're not allowed to play the game. They should have left. And at this point, I probably should have also stopped healing my team and just let them die. But I thought to myself, I was like, oh, well, we got it to 99. I thought Penny could get out, but he couldn't. I break my res station because of the fact that I don't want them to come up there and break it themselves. So I drop it back down again. And Penny, even though I know he's separated, I try to get to heal him, but he doesn't. And the res station brings him back. It's not the best use of res station. It would have been better to use it like in the next fight just in case. However, because of the fact that he was the last to die and the res station was still up, we don't have to wait, 15% or whatever for him to regroup. We can just go right back out.
That's much better.
There's nothing to heal. I throw out damage sometimes. So here I'm breaking the wall, and I'm breaking the wall so that way Bucky can get a shot. And I throw my amplifier onto the point so that way that's the area of space that we can control. That's where we want to be. So I'm throwing it ahead of me so that way anytime we peek to anywhere onto the point from any angle, people can get damage amplified. And I throw down the infinite ammo immediately afterwards. And Bucky goes to the other side for some reason. I thought with the wall broken, I thought for sure that that would be the place. But since he didn't, it's okay. And once again, Invisible Woman ults. So what am I going to do as Rocket? I'm going to back up and I'm just going to heal. Our Invisible Woman ult goes up, so I go in and I immediately start doing some damage because of the fact that I don't need to heal during this time. And I prepare for when the Sue ult is about to run out. I am not waiting for the Sue ult to run out. I'm positioning myself ahead of time for where I want to be when it runs out, not after it runs out. I hear Doctor Strange ult, so I immediately go into damage mode. And now healing, backing up my team. Heal, heal, heal. Enemy team ults. Sorry, I had to flip the video in different parts here. I got it pretty close though. Res station down, right back up again. And here's the thing. Cap was here. I destroy it because he only did a little bit of damage. It doesn't have the full cooldown. I immediately get into a position where I can be kind of tricky around the point where I can climb up and over the wall and make it difficult on Cap. I throw down the infinite ammo. Once again, as soon as it's off a cooldown, throw it right back up again. Convince them to kill the Cap. Preemptively healing. And res station's back up. So what do? I find a spot, inconspicuous, some weird spot, throw it down. Now, mind you, why would you throw it in that corner? It seems like a weird corner to throw it in. That's exactly why I threw it in there. It's very unusual sometimes for people to go into that corner. And although it seems kind of out in the open, because I'm constantly mixing it up, even throwing the res station on their side sometimes, I'm just getting it up. Because if Psylocke would have died up there, she would have come right back from the res station. And now, even though the game ended, my brain doesn't stop when I think the game is over. My brain will stop when the game is over. Otherwise, up until that moment, uh I want to keep playing as if the game might still be going on. There's been too many games I've seen where you think it's over and then a portal strange is on or somebody touches and stalls out. Like, don't do that. Just keep playing as you normally would, and try to never feel too confident that the point's secure until it actually is. Uh, but yeah, every time the res station is down, I'm immediately throwing it back up again. Every time the infinite ammo can be used, I try to use it again. Like, anytime my enemy's alt, I heal bot. Anytime my allies alt, I try to support them and back them up, whether it be through damage or whether it be through heals. Like, there are, and you can tell, like, through this game, I didn't die a single time, right? This is where Rocket really thrives. He's really, really good at staying alive, healing from a distance, and that res station forgives a single mistake. You can play Rocket up until really high elos without an issue, even against triple support at times. So, because like here they had defensive ults, but they still didn't win the game, right? Don't subscribe to this fact that just like, oh, you have to have something to defend against like Bucky ult. You have to have something to defend against like Storm ult. Like, if you saw my video on using your ultimates in creative ways, like Psylocke I use Psylocke's ult to counter Bucky ult or counter Storm ult as well. Like, there are other ways to play around, and I think too many people get too used to the idea of defensive ults bailing them out of their mistakes. And if you see my videos and from my gameplay, I don't like to play around the idea that I need to be bailed out or use those defensive ults. I like to have positioning that's just better, where I give up space temporarily and just take it back afterwards. Uh, I don't want to have to sit there and just like, negate one defensive ult with another ult. Um, but yeah, I think Rocket gets a lot of hate just because of the fact that that is just, I don't know, it was player perception. It was Tim the Tatman. They just started to spread that just like, oh, Rocket's like this bad support. But if you saw here, Bucky, Bucky gets MVP of this round, right? But if you watch back from my perspective, how many times did he get uh, infinite ammo from me in order to pop off? How many times did he get healed from a distance while he was ulting into an entire team in order to stay alive and just keep popping off over and over again and go again, again, again? How many times, did he use the res when he died because he was caught out of position and he got right back up, right? He 100% popped off. He is definitely a good Winter Soldier. But how many of those kills were assisted by the fact that I prioritized staying alive, that I made it a point to be in a good position in which I was always safe and I could heal him from afar and allow him to keep doing what he did? How many times did I amplify his damage? Did I give him the infinite ammo? Like, there's all these factors that come into play that make a support a good support. And for me personally, I I always look to see that, make sure that like my supports are surviving. Because you can look at this scoreboard. If you look at this scoreboard, the enemy team had more heals, right? Pretty significantly too, a good chunk more heals. And Rocket doesn't have a defensive ult, and yet for some reason we still ended up winning. Like, the meta and what, Reddit or what everyone else would have you believe is that we should have lost this game because we had a Rocket on our team and we had low heals. But it's not about how much healing you output. It's about who you heal, when you heal, who you damage, when you do damage, and how often you are good at making sure you're using those cooldowns when they're accessible, right? Every single time that res station was down, it was right back up again. And immediately afterwards, it got used and someone came back into the fight and we retook it again. It's very, very difficult uh, to get momentum in this game, and a single pick can mean the difference between like your team falling over or just, being able to hold the objective. A 6v6, everyone's waiting for that first pick. But if you have a Rocket res station and it's nearby, that single mistake that I would see my teammates do, which they did multiple times, especially on the first round, like Psylocke died, she was right back up again. We took the point. Winter Soldier died at one point. He was right back up again and right back into the fight. Like, that is huge in these objective based games. It is all about the numbers advantage. It's very it's you have the advantage in a 6v5, and if you turn into a 6v4, it's an even greater advantage. So anything that you can do to keep numbers on your side is beneficial to you. So, I know that it's tempting to just parrot immediately what you hear on Reddit or TikTok or whatever other social media of just like how Rocket is bad, but this is a GM game where we absolutely stomp them. And there were plenty of times where my allies should have died. And the only reason they stayed alive is because me as support had good positioning and prioritized who I was healing and when. That is what's going to help you win games as support. Uh, and it's not just about like heal botting or who has the most heals or who plays like the meta heroes. Like you can make, and what's great about these hero based shooters is you can make just about any one of these heroes work. It's just all about how you play them. And I think part of the reason why I love Rocket is because of the fact that people say that he shouldn't work, and I try to find ways to make that not true. So yeah, um, hopefully this video was helpful to you. Hopefully you learned some things. If you have any other questions or have some specific rivals questions or videos you think that I should make, please uh, let me know. I'll keep trying to come up with ideas, but it is always easier whenever whenever people have questions or um, you know, uh, give me stuff to work off of. Because yeah, I could go into hero specific stuff, but hopefully this helps because all of these rules still apply to every other support as well. Good positioning, prioritizing heals, when to prioritize damage, like all of it's the same. Whether you learning the different hero skills is one thing, but at the end of the day, positioning and prioritization, those are universal across the board. So yeah. But yeah, hopefully this was helpful. Let me know if there's anything else you want to see.